of the basic shooting techniques. You will notice that the players are using the same areas of the foot which are used to pass the ball. The instep and the inside and outside of the foot are the accepted method of passing as well as shooting. All shots on goal are not hit with great force. Often, a well-placed shot using the inside of the foot is more effective than shooting hard with the instep. The second drill is a variation on the first. Again, we have 3 players in a confined area, but now there is a specific pattern. Each player takes a corner. The ball is passed diagonally, and the receiving player moves off with the ball to the empty corner, turns, and shoots the ball to the opposite corner. This drill is useful for developing accuracy in shooting and passing, as well as receiving and trapping the ball effectively. Again, the players are free to use any of the shooting skills in this drill. Another aspect of this drill is the practice of receiving the ball and moving off with it to open space. A player who receives the ball and does not move away becomes a standing target for opponents. Players should work towards receiving and moving away at the same time. Coaches are constantly telling players that they must be first to the ball. This is particularly good advice when a scoring opportunity presents itself. Now we're going to see players in a realistic situation being first to the ball, close to the goal. To make the drills more realistic, we've added a pair of portable goals and goalkeepers. Each goalkeeper serves the ball to an attacking player who uses one of the shooting skills to attack, then sets up to shoot on the opposite goal. A coach can designate which shooting skill to practice. An important point for shooters in this drill is the first touch on the ball as he receives it from the goalkeeper. The first touch should bring the ball under complete control. This allows the shooter to look up, locate the position of the goalkeeper, look back at the ball, and shoot. Here is a shot with the inside of the foot. Now a shot with the instep. The players will now try an inside bending kick. Then an outside bending kick. Next, they'll try the drive. And finally, a chip. To practice shooting on the volley, have the goaltender serve a bouncing ball to the attacking players. Shooters must work on getting the entire body behind the shot to give it power. While it is important that the shooter strikes the center of the ball on a volley shot, it is also helpful if the shooter, at the moment of contact, can lift the knee of the kicking leg straight up. This will give the ball top spin and help to keep it down. In the next drill, there are 4 players. 2 act as servers, and 2 take turns attacking one goal. Since all scoring opportunities don't occur in the center of the field, we've asked the serving players to pass to the side of the goal. This brings the goalkeeper to the side of the goal near the post. The players have been instructed to shoot to the second post, which is harder for the goalkeeper to protect, but is also a more difficult target for the shooter. They can use any of the shooting skills for their attack. This is a variation on the previous drill, but now there are 2 goals, and the serving players are about midfield on each side. Each attacking player receives 2 serves and takes a shot at each goal. Again, they are allowed to use any of the shooting techniques in their attempt to score. Now we've added a defender to put more pressure on the attacking player. This is a 1-versus-1 drill. The attacking player receives the ball from the goalkeeper, advances toward the opposite goal, and must get by the defender to take a shot. The players reverse roles after a scoring attempt. This drill gives players practice in footwork moves as well as shooting skills. The next drill adds a 1-2 or wall pass to the sequence. Two players alternate the attack. One player near the goal serves it forward to the second player and advances toward the opposite goal. The attacking player then receives a pass from the second player and shoots on goal. In this drill, there are three players, the attacker being in the middle. It starts with a goalkeeper serve to the attacking player, who advances toward that goal and attempts to score. The defender then assumes the role of attacker and attacks the other goal. This drill incorporates a feint kick and a cross pass from the side. Form two lines of attacking players and have two players act as servers on each side near the goal. Both attacking players, one from each line, advance toward goal after the pass. The first player does a feint kick and does not touch the ball. Instead, she lets it go through to the second attacking player, who shoots on goal, then moves to the end of the other line. The serves should come from alternate sides after each scoring attempt. This drill is effective for perfecting passing and feinting skill as well as shooting techniques. The next drill also uses a crossing pass, but this time the attacking player has the option of using a chest trap and a volley or half volley kick. As before, there are two serving players on the side who send high passes to the attacking player. He uses a chest trap to control the ball, then he either takes a shot while it's in the air or uses the half volley as the ball bounces. After the shot, the attacking player moves to the end of the opposite line. To do the half volley, the ball must be struck the instant it leaves the ground. Be sure you get over the ball in order to keep it low. Let's watch the half volley one more time. This drill uses the same pattern as the last one, but this time the serve is not as high, and the attacking player simply uses a volley kick in his scoring attempt. The player can either shoot using the inside volley kick or an outside volley kick. With an inside kick, the player shoots with the foot closest to the ball. The outside kick is done with the foot farthest from the ball. You should choose which kick to use depending on the position of the defenders and the direction of the ball's arrival. Now the players will practice the same drill, but this time they will work on the jump volley, which is a cross between a volley and a bicycle kick. The bicycle kick is executed with your back to the goal. But in the jump volley, the ball comes across the goal and the shooter is facing the sideline. To gain momentum and power for the jump volley, the shooter briefly turns away from the goal, then swings back toward the ball as he leaves the ground to make contact with the instep and drives the ball at the goal. In this drill, there are 2 attackers and 2 defending players. The server sends a high pass to the attacker closest to the goal, who is marked by defenders. He heads it back to the trailing attacker, who takes a shot on goal. As we all know, the forwards are the most closely marked players on the field. As a result, it is not always possible for a forward to attempt to score when dealing with a ball coming across the goal from near the sideline. At other times, the forward is not in a good position to attempt to score when the ball gets to him. In these instances, the observant forward will know that his teammates behind him are in a better position to shoot than he is. The supporting players behind the ball should anticipate that the ball may be laid off and take up a position where the forward can play the ball back to them for a shot on goal. Let's look at the action again from behind the goal, much as it may look to a goalkeeper. The next drill is for practicing the bicycle kick. The players form a line, and each in turn receives a high serve and must perform a bicycle kick to try to score. After each attempt, the player moves to the end of the line. The execution of this kick calls for excellent judgment, perfect timing and coordination, and the courage to perform it in a game. The final shooting drill has 3 teams of 2 in a 2 versus 2 drill. This enables players to practice a variety of footwork as well as shooting techniques. This drill allows players to use a variety of attacking skills and to exercise the important asset of making decisions. The freedom of this drill allows them to use fakes and feints and dribbling moves, to attack space without the ball, to use combination passing, change the direction of the attack, and perfect movement off of the ball. The confined space gives players the opportunity for numerous repetitions of attacking skills in a realistic situation against opposition and end with a shot on goal. We're now going to put the players in game-related situations where they'll have the opportunity to use everything they've learned to try to score. The first variation is a 7 versus 5. After each shot, the defending team becomes attackers, and the 2 players in red join this team on the attack. The attacking team now has an advantage and thereby a greater chance of sustaining the attack and meeting with success. The confined space should be about the size of 2 penalty areas, as this will always allow the team with the ball to be in a position to score. Quick movement of the ball, penetrating passes, decoy runs, dribbling moves, combination passing all come into play here, and of course, it is all used as a build-up to the shot on goal. Defensively, players must be alert and track down the runs of attacking players. To become comfortable with the frenzied action in and around the penalty area, players must experience those conditions time and time again. This drill will allow numerous repetitions of attacking situations and give players the opportunity to make the correct decisions at the appropriate time. In the next game-related sequence, we've eliminated the 2 players in red making the teams equal at 5 versus 5. In 5 versus 5, playing without the ball becomes important. Decoy runs can open dangerous attacking space for a teammate to run into, to receive a pass, or to shoot for goal. And a well-timed run off of the ball can destroy defensive cover and allow the player with the ball to attack a defender in a one-on-one situation. Support players must constantly change their position to make themselves available to receive the ball. A standing player is easy to mark and creates no problems for defenders. A player with good dribbling skills will often draw the attention of 2 or 3 defenders. This causes defensive problems as 1 or 2 attacking players are momentarily free. And a quick, well-executed wall pass, or 1-2, can send an attacking player through the last line of defenders. All of these attacking tools should be practiced repeatedly and hopefully result in a scoring opportunity. The final game is a 5 versus 7, with the players in red joining the defending team after every goal. These 2 additional defenders put extra pressure on the attacking team, making it even more difficult for attackers to penetrate the defense and score. In modern soccer, it is not uncommon to play against teams which place a great amount of emphasis on defense, pack the penalty area, and hope for a few quick breakaways to score. This drill, with 5 attackers trying to score against 7 defenders, duplicates such a situation. One of the methods to combat this strategy includes attacking the back of the defense. To do this, a team needs players who are willing to make penetrating runs to get behind the defense, and the run must be accompanied with a well-timed through pass. Another way is to isolate 1 attacker and 1 defender, get the ball to the attacker, and let him go one-on-one. And a third method is to have players with the ability, accuracy, strength, and confidence to shoot from outside the penalty area. This may be the easiest way to beat a packed defense, and therefore points out the great importance of correct shooting technique and hours of practice. Let's watch some top international players perform shooting skills in competition.
Litvinenko for the Soviet Union.
Here's a well-placed shot with the inside of the foot.
And Gotsmanov. Well, Peter Shilton has performed miracles at the other end in the first half, but when Gotsmanov got away there from Duxbury, there wasn't very much the England goalkeeper could do about that.
And a shot with the outside of the foot.
Oh! Huzios! As you see, Maradona was the one who put the tackle on him, but Huzios sees a little space open to David Burson.
And a bending kick.
On the near side, Gunitsa fires, scores! What a shot by Carl!
International competition.
Watch these exciting volley shots.
There's the ball from Wilson. A nicely flighted ball that comes right to Giorgio Chinalia's chest. He has a man coming on him, but too late. Look at that, right up in the upper corner.
Great goal. Vancouver, Peter Lorimer.
Trying to get the right-footed kick across. He does so over to Peter Lorimer on the far side. One time to shot.
And some goals the result of half we have seen in 1981. This one by Gordon Hill of Montreal. The Los Angeles Aztecs.
And finally, a couple of spectacular bicycle kicks.
And once again, Thompson Lucien of the Manique with a beautiful bicycle.
We've just shown you a series of shooting skills and drills, but there is another equally important way to pass the ball about the field and to score goals: heading. We're going to move to the field now and explore the fascinating art of heading the soccer ball. In competition, skillful players who have the ability to control the ball with their head as well as their feet can score exciting goals like these.
Up, strikes the ball, perfectly placed.
Moyers to Quinalha.
He's one of the most skillful players in the league. If you didn't believe it then, look at it now. Great skill, heads it right to Addy Coker. Addy took it beautifully, knocked it in the corner, and that's a fitting.
From Brady, two waiting in the centre for the cross. Stapleton, 2-0.
In every game that I'm aware of, when a ball traveling in excess of 80 miles an hour approaches a player's head, he ducks. Not so in the game of soccer. A soccer player learns to use his head as a weapon. It is one of the many tools he has at his disposal to play this great game. In the background, you see some of the players in the beginning stages of a practice session on the art of heading. The art of heading does not come easily. Many, many hours have to be spent in learning how to correctly head the ball. We know it is not by accident that the ball goes from the head of one teammate to the foot of another as he crashes it into the back of the net. And we know the ability of a player to rise out of a crowd deep in the defensive end of the field to head the ball safely out of the danger zone. Now we're going to watch Franz instruct the players in the correct technique of heading the soccer ball. Franz has divided the players into two lines, each player with a ball. In the early stages of heading, one of the things you'll want to overcome is your fear of the ball. That's what this first drill is about. In this drill, the player simply serves the ball to himself and heads it back into his hands. When heading the ball, strike it with the forehead and keep your eyes on the ball. In order to be able to see the ball and to send it where you want it to go, the correct area of contact is that area between the eyebrows and the hairline. Will now have the players work in pairs, with one player serving the ball to the other, who heads it back. The serve should be a soft lob, not too hard or too high. The header should keep his knees bent, bend his back at the waist, draw the head back, and move into the ball, striking it with his forehead. It's important that you strike the ball. Don't let the ball strike you. In this drill, the player heading the ball is not concerned with power. The emphasis is on the correct technique and on accuracy. In the next heading drill, the players are further apart, and the server will throw the ball a little to the left or right of his partner. The receiving player then must get in line with the ball and head it back to the server. Notice how the receiver moves on the balls of his feet for quick mobility. Here are some important points to keep in mind when heading the ball. Get in line with the flight of the ball, keep your eyes open, use your arms for balance, bend back from the waist, move into the ball, and strike the ball with the forehead. After the players are comfortable with heading the ball, Franz has them move about 6 or 7 yards apart. They head the ball back to one another, keeping the ball in the air as long as they can. The key to this drill is not only to head the ball correctly yourself, but also to have the control to make it easy for your partner to return the ball to you. Later, you can have one of them back up gradually, a step at a time, to increase the distance. Then move slowly back in. You can also have them alternate being the moving player. This variation on the drill helps players refine their distance perception. Something new has been added to this drill. The player must now touch the ball twice before it is returned to his partner. To do this, make contact near the bottom of the ball on the first touch. This sends the ball straight in the air. Then reposition yourself to head the ball slightly beneath center for the second touch, which sends the ball back to your teammate. Franz will now increase the difficulty by having the players exchange positions while keeping the ball in the air. Again, this drill is good for developing fine ball control. To reach the level of these players requires hours of practice. They have mastered the ball and are now able to make the ball do what they want it to do. Look closely and you will see an important element needed to master the ball: concentration. It takes great concentration to head the ball up, keep the body underneath the ball as you move, turn with it, and serve it to your partner in such a manner that he has no trouble bringing it under control. The next drill features a short, long sequence. The ball is served by an end player to the middle player, who heads it short to the server. He heads it long to the player on the other end, and the sequence continues. A short head to the middle player, a short return, and long to the player on the far end. Now, from time to time, Franz will ask one of the players to switch positions with the middle player without interrupting the flow of the drill. This drill incorporates 3 game-related elements. It teaches players to judge the distance the ball must travel to reach another player, and it also requires him to apply the correct amount of power to the ball. Finally, as in a game, he must head the ball to a moving target. In this drill, the middle player does not return the ball, but instead uses a glancing header with the top or back of his head to send it to the far player. It should be just a flick. You don't want to hit the ball too hard. This is an effective drill for gaining the skill of heading the ball without changing its direction. In a game situation, it's very likely you will have to jump to head the ball. This drill develops that skill. Franz will have the players return to the 2 lines, each player working with a partner. One player serves it to the other, who must jump in the air and return it. Notice how the player gets his whole body behind the ball, not just the head, but also the neck, waist, and legs. Using the whole body allows you to get power behind the ball. You can get additional power by drawing the head back, then snapping it forward. This is similar to the previous drill, but now the player is encouraged to run up to the ball. To do this properly, jump in the air by taking off on one leg, cock the head back, and snap it forward while keeping your eyes on the ball. Notice how the back is arched and brought forward. This also adds to the power. Even though we are seeing more power in this heading drill, you must not forget that accuracy must accompany the power. For the next drill, we've added the portable goals and goalkeepers. The goalkeeper serves the ball, and the attacking player must use the basic heading technique to return the ball. Once they're proficient in the drill, have the attacking players slowly move backward a step or so at a time, then slowly forward. This helps to sharpen distance perception. This drill not only offers repetitive practice, but lets the player perform in the realistic setting of the goal and the goalkeeper. Notice, they're not trying to score, but they are trying to head the ball down so as not to waste a scoring chance by sending it over the bar. the players incorporate a run-up and must jump to get to the head ball. After a goal attempt, they rotate and attack the opposite goal. You can see that the goalkeeper handles the high ball rather easily, but he must leave his feet for the ball, which is headed down. Franz has the players line up again for the next drill, which is the first one that includes a defender. The ball is served to the heading player, who must jump to reach the header. The defender simply stands in front and does not compete for the ball. This drill serves two purposes: to get the attacking player used to having someone in front of him, and to teach him to go up for the ball. Players should alternate acting as attackers and defenders. In a variation on this drill, the attacking player is allowed to run up to the ball, letting him practice timing and adding power to his technique. When trying to be first to a head ball with an opponent close by, it is necessary that you convert your forward motion into a vertical jump to avoid fouling your opponent by jumping into him. In another variation on this drill, the defender jumps as the attacker goes for the ball, creating a situation more like you would find in an actual game. In a final variation on this drill, Franz lets the defender compete for the ball. This drill lets players perfect their timing and experience contact with other players. To avoid injury in this practice, it is important that the players serving the ball give the advantage to one of the two players practicing the head ball. The server can do this by serving the ball slightly closer to one player. For the next drill, Franz has instructed the defending player to remain passive, and the server sends a lob in front of the defender. The attacking player must run in front of the defender to head the ball. This drill develops the aggressiveness necessary for effective attacking soccer. As we said before, don't wait for the ball to come to you. Be aggressive to the ball. Be first to reach it. Whenever possible, you must go to the ball, on the ground or in the air. Now the server will kick the ball, and again, the attacker must run in front of the defending player. But this time, the defender will be a little more active, demanding that the attacking player be even more aggressive. We've added a goal to the drill, and we'll have the goalkeeper serve to two players competing for the ball. This gives players practice not only competing for the ball, but also gaining accuracy with the head for scoring goals. In soccer, a certain amount of contact with an opponent is legal and should be expected. As you see here, shoulder-to-shoulder contact is allowed, provided it is not violent and the arms are not extended. Pushing or holding an opponent is a foul. In the next drill, we will have one attacking player near the goal who will practice glancing headers. A kicker serves the ball from the side. The attacking player uses his head merely to change the direction of the ball, just enough to get it in the goal. Glancing head balls usually occur close to the goal, and the purpose of the glancing header is to slightly change the original path of the ball. With the ball being close to the goal, it is often unnecessary to add power to the ball. When the goalkeeper comes to the near post to intercept a crossing pass, the player heading the ball needs only to let the ball glance off of his head toward the far post. For the next drill, there are two attacking players and a defender in red. The ball is again served from the side, but instead of heading it toward the goal, the receiving player must send it on to a teammate, who then can use a shooting or heading skill to attempt to score. In a game, if you're surrounded by defenders, a glancing header can be used to send the ball to a teammate who has a clear shot on goal. Short crossing passes to the near post will draw the goalkeeper to that post, leaving most of the goal unprotected. The glancing header can transfer the ball to the opposite side of the goal and create a scoring opportunity for a teammate. Watch in slow motion how effective this can be. The diving header is one of those exciting moves that can bring spectators to their feet. This drill introduces players to the diving header. Attacking players form a single line in front of the goal. The goalkeeper serves the ball, just a soft lob, no higher than the attacker's shoulder. The attacking player, from a standing position, dives forward, striking the ball with the forehead, and uses his hands and arms to break the fall. Sometimes diving for the ball is the fastest way to get to it. While it is a spectacular way to score a goal, players are advised to use caution if other players are close to the ball. If the referee believes the player has exposed himself to injury by diving for the ball, he can be called for a foul. Once the players are comfortable with the diving header and have lost their fear of diving for the ball, Franz has them run toward the ball before performing the dive. This adds power to the technique, making it more difficult to defend against. In practice and without opposition, the diving header doesn't appear to be too difficult. In an actual game, it's a different story. Diving headers call for great judgment, excellent timing, courage, and deep concentration to ensure proper execution. Since players will often be called upon to head crossing passes toward the goal in a game situation, Franz has added a player serving from the side to this drill. At first, the player should perform the heading technique from a standing position. The diving header is most often used on a ball coming across the goal mouth. This drill is closer to reality and more difficult merely because we have changed the angle of the delivery. After they're comfortable with this drill, the players are allowed to run up to the ball, again giving them more power on the ball. You are watching the results of numerous practice sessions. Don't try to reach this level too quickly. We advise you to follow the sequence of drills you have just seen. Franz has now added a couple of passive defenders to the goal area, making the situation a little more difficult for the attacking player. Players who are new to the diving header will have a tendency to take their eyes off of the ball in anticipation of landing. It takes a large degree of self-discipline to follow the sequence of dive, head, and finally look for the ground. Franz has the attacking players form two lines in front of the goal for the next drill, which emphasizes heading from the side. A player in one line serves the ball to an advancing player from the other line, who attempts to head the ball into the goal. Watch the attacking player turn his upper body and head toward the goal so that he can hit the ball with his forehead, adding control as well as power. Notice the characteristic head snap of a player who uses his whole body to get power behind the ball. Because it's rare in a game that you'll have the luxury of being alone when going for a head ball, Franz has added a couple of red-shirted defenders to make the drill more realistic. The defenders do not actually compete for the ball, but they are active enough to put additional pressure on the attacking player. We've moved back to the permanent goal for a crossing drill. The ball is served from the side and two attacking players advance and attempt to head the ball into the goal. At first, the players do not have the pressure of a defender. As the ball is about to be crossed, notice the interchange of positions by the two attacking players. The run of each player is designed to confuse defenders and to put one attacking player at the near post for a short cross and the other at the far post for a longer cross. Once again, a defender has been added to make the situation for the attackers more like they would find in competition. The addition of the defender not only creates a problem for one of the attackers, but it is also realistic practice for the player crossing the ball from the side. Before he crosses the ball, he must look up to see which attacking player is unmarked and get the ball to him. In a variation of the last drill, there are 3 pairs of players, each team in a different color uniform. The ball is passed from the side, and the players rotate serving as attackers and defenders. After each scoring attempt, the defending team sits out, and the attacking team assumes the role of defenders. Here, attacking players are marked man for man. While the defenders track the run of the attackers, we don't let them try to win the ball yet. This is heading practice for the attackers, and we want them to experience success. Later, with attackers thoroughly accustomed to the presence of defenders, we allow the defenders to go for the ball. We've put up the portable goals again, and we've put 4 players between them, 2 on a team. The ball is served from the side. The blue team tries to score in the near goal, and the white team in the far goal. This drill simulates the competition for the ball players will find in game situations. As players learn to react aggressively toward the ball, this drill introduces competition while still allowing them to perfect their technique. In a variation on this drill, the players are allowed to head the ball toward either goal in an attempt to score. Being first to the ball is very important. Here, any of the 4 players can score in either goal. Since no one is acting as a defender, the only way you can win this drill is by getting to the ball first. To make the situation even more game-related, Franz has set up a 3 versus 3 drill with 1 free player in red who always plays with the attacking team. The advantage of working in a confined area with portable goals is clearly evident here. Repetition is the best way to learn, and the bush players can create numerous scoring opportunities with the head in this realistic practice. Each time the goalkeeper gets the ball, he serves it to the defending team, and they are joined by the red-shirted neutral player as they attack the opposite goal. Now, any of the 4 attacking players is free to advance the ball and serve the cross from the flank. The attackers must try to lose their opponents and attack the ball. A certain amount of physical conditioning can be gained here, depending on the size of the area, the pace of the drill, and the length of time it is used. In addition, goalkeepers find this a valuable exercise for dealing with a crowded situation in which they may be called on to react to a close head ball or to catch the cross or punch it clear. Just as we did in the shooting section, we've put the players in a 7 versus 5 game-related situation to have them polish their heading skills under pressure. Again, the 2 players in red always play with the attacking team. With 2 more players than the defending team, the attackers should have no trouble getting the ball out to the flanks. The remainder of the attacking team should try to spread the defense rather than let them bunch up in front of the goal. After the team has worked on this game, coaches can eliminate the players in red, equalizing the sides and putting more pressure on the attacking team. To make the situation even more realistic, the players in red play for the defensive team, adding even more pressure on the attacking players. Now let's look at some action from the North American Soccer League as they score some exciting goals through heading techniques. First, a pass from one head to another leads to a goal. And now some spectacular diving headers.
Concentration and extra effort pays off.
Stan Terlecki with 2 men in the box, one of them Bogey. Centers, Bogey, header, goal! What a goal!
That is diving header by Bogey. Fantastic.
An injured thigh. Seattle looking to attack. Bridge with a header and it goes in.
There we see David Bradford slots a through ball to Peter Ward, who crosses it over the goalkeeper's head to the far side, and there's Ian Bridge, who is a defender who has come.
The goal is violent.
There we see it again. A 30-yard through pass with his left foot. No control, just lets it run on. Clears the goalkeeper. There's Ian Bridge, diving header. And if you don't...
You've just seen the basic techniques of scoring. Franz, now that they've seen this, what's your advice?
They should practice very hard on the basic shooting and attacking skills, practicing them until they are totally comfortable with them. Then they should gradually increase the difficulty as they have done with our drill sequences until they can perform the skills under the pressure of a defender. When they play the game, they should show initiative and take advantage of scoring opportunities while maintaining composure in the face of a tight defense. Maybe then in the future, the United States will start producing world-class players.
I, for one, am convinced that someplace out there is the first United States world-class player. Who will be the first world-class player from this great country of ours? Will it be you? Come on, let's get out on that field and practice.